morning, everybody. You notice I'm not riding my bike like I normally do when I film these. I had a little accident on Monday. That's why y'all haven't heard from me very much. I broke my baby toe. You know how you wake up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom. Sometimes you stub your toe on something. Well, I stubbed my toe. And I did a whole lot more than stub it. I dislocated the baby toe and broke it in half. So, all night, Monday night, in the middle of the night, in the emergency room, urgent care with Kaiser. And then, of course, in pretty bad pain. Finally sort of emerged out of the fog yesterday. And I'm just, I'll be back at work on Monday and just have to deal with it. I tell you what, that's what you call a klutz. But it has not deterred me from the program that I'm in the middle of, my Mary's Mini. I'm on my third Mary's Mini now. This time I'm doing rice. I've made some really good rice dishes over the weekend prior to Monday. Have not been able to cook since then, obviously. I'm not going to be able to cook much at all, but I am so happy that I put in my freezer 2 big old pots of Instant Pot rice. So I've got a lot of rice in my freezer and some things to put on it. So far this week I made some veggie cacciatore. I made it using frozen vegetables, and I also made some veggie cacciatore using fresh vegetables. I have a video that I haven't put together yet, but I did video the different pieces of it. I'm making some just basic fried rice with liquid aminos, and I put a lot of that in my freezer. So I've got a lot of food already prepared, which is one of the reasons why it is so important to prepare. Not just in case something happens and you're focused and you're at that point where you're in a good place. You know, you're eating your different meals, you're not going off plan, but the minute that you find yourself in a situation where you do not have food made, you have no way of making your food, that's when we have a tendency to go off sometimes. That's when, calling for takeout and things like that come into play. And also, when we're not feeling our best, we think that food's going to make us feel better, and a lot of times in the immediate point it kind of does. But then afterwards we tend to feel worse because we do things that we know we're not supposed to do. And that's with just about anybody. You're doing well, you're doing such a good job, and then something gets in the middle. Adversity is what we call it, things that just happen, right? They just get in the way, adversity. Someone gets hurt. You're having to spend time with a family member or a friend while they're in the hospital, adversity. You end up in the hospital, adversity. Things happen. Things happen to us in our lives. And the most difficult part about being in the middle of a program, such as a Mary's Mini or whatever that program is that when we're hit with adversity, the first thing we want to give up is our goal. We'll rationalize and we'll say things like, I had a difficult time. I was sick. I didn't have a chance to do any cooking. So I just went off plan. That's not a reason to go off plan. Really, it's not. Especially if you prepare beforehand. If you prepare for whatever may come your way. But the fact that we have adversity, that in itself is not a reason to go off plan. It's a reason that we give ourselves sometimes to go off plan. but it's not a reason to go off plan. Because if you're having a difficult time going on in your life, the last thing that you want after you're emerging from that difficult time is to find yourself on the scale worse than you were prior to your problems, or to find your health declining worse than it was prior to your problems. Because if you're teeter-tottering between plant-based and your standard American diet, and then when things go bad, you go back to the standard American diet, a lot of those health issues that you might have fixed or you might have been getting under control are going to get worse if you go totally off a plant-based diet. When adversity hits, you're going to get other things that will come into play. If you're teeter-tottering between a good, clean, healthy eating lifestyle and, like vegan junk and stuff like that, there again, we have a tendency to sort of sabotage ourselves as far as the weight is concerned. And then, of course, if you're ingesting too much oil, that can damage the endothelial cells. And then other things can happen as far as your body is concerned in a negative way that you don't want. For me, this weight loss right now, what I'm in the middle of, that I found a new life breathed into my weight loss plan with this Mary's Mini. This, I found what I needed in order to jumpstart my program again. Because at the beginning, I did great. I did an excellent job at the beginning. When I first went plant-based, lost a whole lot of weight. Most people do at the very beginning. But mine slowed down. It slowed down a lot. And I've got one of those metabolisms where it just, it doesn't work that fast for me. Gaining works fast, losing does not. So I needed to actually put something into place that would cause me to, lose the pound to 2 pounds a week. And, it was had to be a specific effort involved with that happening for me. It wasn't just happening automatically anymore after a while, and that's the same thing for most people. After a while, it doesn't just happen automatically anymore. You have to put in those efforts, be aware of calorie density when you're eating. And one of these days, I'm actually going to pull up some research on calorie density so that we can just have a little session on nothing but calorie density, because that is a thing. That's a real thing. Jeff, last name starts with an N. He talks a lot about calorie density. Chef AJ has a wonderful chart that she uses that helps us to understand calorie density. There are quite a few videos out there concerning calorie density, and it would do many of us very well to spend some time learning as much as we can about that, so that'll be a new tool that we'll be able to use, as we're in the middle of this weight loss thing. Because I tell you what, over the course of these last few days, I have not gone off track, and that makes me really happy. It makes me extremely happy that I've been able to stay true to the Mary's Mini, despite the fact that I've not been able to get in my kitchen to cook. I am not going to be able to get in my kitchen to cook for at least another week and a half, when I can start walking on this boot without the crutches to use as a walking apparatus. It's so funny because the day afterwards, I called myself trying to get in that kitchen because I love cooking, and I really enjoy filming myself when I cook. Probably about 10 minutes into that process, my toe kept asking my whole body, "What are you doing?" Don't you remember? I got broken. Yeah, I went and sat my behind down real quick. So, um, well, now, I think this is day 5. Yes, this is day 5 of my third Mary's Mini. The rice is coming along okay. I love the stuff that I can put on it. I'm sort of a little upset that I can't do some of the cooking that I really had in mind as far as this Mary's Mini is concerned, because I did have some great ideas as far as rice dishes are concerned. But a week from next Monday, we'll start again, and I'm going back to potatoes, because it's funny. I noticed something with the potato mini. The things that I prepared, the potato is the main, is the star of the dish. With the rice mini, the things that I prepared so far, whatever it is I'm preparing is the star, and it's laid upon the rice, it seems. About the only thing that I fixed so far where the rice was the star was like that little fried rice sort of thing that I made. That I've got to put that video, that even though I filmed little pieces of it, I have to put it together, and then I'll put it in the groups as well. But not as many recipes this time, not as many cooking demonstrations. I'm stuck with nowhere to go but my feet up, and I've been off work this week, but our life will start all over again on Monday. Well, that was a nice little ramble, but I just wanted to say good morning, give y'all an update as far as, what's going on so far with my Mary's Mini. I have not been on the scale. I will wait until next Thursday. I should be able to stand up there pretty easily without having to hold on to anything. Right now, I can't. Right now, my most challenging part of my life is getting on my feet and trying to walk around to take care of, go to the restroom and things like that. Otherwise, my feet's up, and I'm just sort of down all day. Haven't been able to ride my bike. That's been really weird because that's been a big part of my life. But that little pinky toe is hollering, wee, 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 leave me alone. So, all right, guys. Well, y'all have a really good day. And here are a couple of dishes that I did enjoy this past week.